Coach, let's rewind back to Saturday.
Okay.
Scrimmage against BC. If what I understand, you saw some good things.
Saw a lot of good things out there. Our kids really got after it. We had the typical first scrimmage things, the offsides on defense, the holding, the balls on the ground, probably more than it should be offensively. Defensively, I thought we were very solid, got to the ball. They weren't able to move the ball much on us. They had one long run on our second group of kids. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Offensively in the beginning, we struggled a little bit, kind of, moved the ball kind of at will. Just we had, some holdings by one of our wide receiver. He had 3 holdings and, back-to-back series, which is, and then we also had a turnover. But we were able to move the ball. We were very consistent offensively moving the ball. I was pleased for a first scrimmage. I mean, we got a long way to go, but for first scrimmage, it was as good as you can see. So,
I know that you've got a lot of talented individuals, including returning starter Ryan Lee at quarterback.
Okay.
But I heard you today, obviously telling quarterbacks that, hey, we need guys that are maybe a little tougher.
Right. We've got to have guys that are, our quarterbacks have to be physical type of guys that can run the ball, make great decisions. We can't have guys who are kind of tippy-toeing and not making very good decisions. Those guys in our offense have got to be, they've only got to read one guy. So, that's the big thing for us is, our offensive system's pretty simple. And we just got to get those kids to execute. I felt, a little bit maybe first scrimmage, a little gun shy at quarterback. Saw some good things at times, but also saw some things that we need to work at. But, we've got to get quarterbacks that are physical and run down field. We've got 3 quarterbacks that are big enough that they shouldn't be tackled by one person. So,
Up front, both offensively and defensively, how you feel in the trenches?
I think defensively we're a lot further along, and we kind of expected that. We feel like we can go about 8 deep, which is nice. 4-2-5, we can rotate a lot of bodies in there. Have a lot of kids that are very strong, that are athletic, that can get after people. We've got a big line, we got a small line, so third and long, we can take some of the bigger guys out and put it in there. Offensive line, is typical this time of year, struggling a little bit. Guys trying to learn what to do. We've had some injuries. We had to move some guys around to different positions. But for a first scrimmage, we were a little bit better than what I thought we were. We still got a long way to go, but that's typical with offensive line. And first scrimmages, usually defenses dominate. I was pleased with kind of the way we did. There was obviously a lot of things we didn't do well, but there was a lot of positives as well.
You sent a couple of linebackers over to talk to me, Cameron Jones, of course, and Ty Talent, and both of those guys obviously returning starters. Talk a little bit about how they are performing, not just as very good or great players, but as leaders for you out there.
I think that's the biggest thing. We've got a good group of seniors. We've got some seniors that are very quiet. They lead by example. We've got some kids that are real, active, motivate guys that go in there. Those 2 guys are guys that are going to talk people up. They're smart kids. They're aggressive. They get after people. They play both ways. Ty plays offensive line and plays linebacker. Cameron's a free safety and also plays some running back. So they've got to play both ways. So they're kids who I think are really we're counting on a lot, and they show a lot of leadership. They show it in the weight room, they show it in the meeting rooms and everything else.
And then you have a scrimmage tomorrow over at Lakewood.
Correct. We got Lakewood and
Chapin.
Yeah.
So that should be another good.
It'll be great. It'll be good for our defense because we're going to see probably the 2 polar offenses you can see with the wing T with Lakewood, and then of course the spread with Chapin. We're going to see a lot of spread. We probably won't see a lot of wing T, so we didn't really prep for that. Nobody that we really play runs that. We may see it somewhere down the line, but it's going to be good experience for us. We got to see a lot of guys on film. We got to see a lot of guys on film last Saturday, which was important because we've got to identify 10th graders that can possibly help us, or other kids that can help us. So, the nice thing there, we'll get a lot of kids in and be able to see them. So,
Coach, thanks for having us out for practice today. Really enjoyed it.
I appreciate it, Rich. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.